I gotta get the topic.
I'll go get the topics in.
It's all right there.
Yeah, go get them.
Let me tell everybody that wants to build a body, if they ignore nutrition, don't waste your time. Don't waste your time, because you're not going to come nowhere near what you desire. The body's a compensator. The body gives you only what you demand of it, but it must be fed. There's only one substance that repair and maintain muscle tissue, and that's protein. If you think anything else, you're wasting your time. Because if you don't get enough protein, you have a higher ratio of fat to muscle. And even though you may not be overweight, you feel overweight. And it's called skinny fat because you're flabby. When I was 240, I had a 32-inch waist with 56-inch chest. So it's obviously not weight. It's the ratio. Now, when we were training, and I get a little jealous from this must admit, because all of the scientific supplements, all that they've learned about vitamins and minerals today, and protein and creatine, they didn't know in my day. So you guys are getting these things concentrated today, which we would have killed for in our day. You know, we worked on the steam shovel method when we were training. But we noticed little things about training. We noticed that if we ate more steak, we felt stronger than we ate more fish. Come to find out, there's no creatine in fish except salmon. We didn't eat much salmon in those days. I don't know why. Salmon wasn't the thing. But we had a lot of steak. And we used to eat 2 pounds. Then we made up our own rules for nutrition, which was, even though we didn't know what we were doing, we knew it was working. We had to have 2 pounds of steak a day. We had to have a quart of milk a day. We used to make our own protein drinks, skim milk powder, vitamin C, real skim milk powder, orange juice, what else? And eggs. We mixed up and make a paste out and eat that in between workouts. But we noticed we grew from that. Then we started having digestive problems. You know, you get gas and so forth and so on because it overwhelmed our digestive system. This is all learning the hard way. But one of the guys training in the gym with us, Marvin Eder, was one of the greatest bodybuilders of the period. He used to eat a lot of pineapple. And we noticed he didn't have the same problem of gurgling like we had. So we said, how come you don't have that problem? He said, I don't know. He said, bring the little plastic bags to the gym. And so we were trying, at that time, you're so desperate to find something to give you that boost, you know. There's got to be something to just loading up with food, eat it. So Mom would say, so we said, let's try the pineapple, maybe that helped. And we found out that eating the pineapple didn't give us this digestive problem. We had no idea why. Found out later it's the bromelain, which is it's a protein digestion. But this is what the basics like of nutrition. The reason I grew the way I grew because I ate protein much more than they gave it credit for. At the time, protein was considered one of the, you know, they didn't connect protein with building. They were mostly concentrated on carbohydrates. And I knew that when I ate protein, I felt stronger. And I know when I ate that steak, I felt like I wanted to chew a 2x4 and spit out toothpicks. But when I ate the fish or the vegetables, I didn't feel that feeling. So we ate a lot of meat, a lot of milk. Now we overdid it on milk because milk really is not a good source of protein. 32 ounces of milk, you got all that milk sugar in it, all those calories, you only got 32 grams of protein. So it's not even worth it. But we didn't know at the time. But now, understanding that aspect of nutrition, that's ancient stuff. I want to give you a background. Today, we have a much better knowledge of nutrition, and we know that if you're training, you cannot overdose on protein. You know why they use steroids? Because steroids hold the end product of protein digestion in the muscle, which is nitrogen. Nitrogen is the key to all muscle growth. And the more protein you eat, of course you don't have to take steroids. Steroids is another subject. But the more protein you eat, you feed the muscle will grow. You don't overtrain the muscle, give the muscle time, because there's 2 aspects of muscle growth. There's recovery and there's recharge. And that's another subject. But basic nutrition You have to get at least a gram if you're active and you want to build. You have to get at least a gram of protein per pound of body weight. And also you got to remember, do not neglect the carbohydrates, because if you don't get enough carbohydrates, you're going to waste your intake of protein, because carbohydrates is the first requirement of the body. And if you don't get enough, the body will use your protein for carbs, which it doesn't like to do, but it will. And you don't have enough protein for muscle building. So people that don't understand the physiology of the body and they ignore carbohydrates, thinking it's poison, they really hinder themselves in their growth because they don't maximize the intake of protein. Protein is expensive, and you don't want to use it for energy. You want to use it. I mean, you don't want to use the protein for energy. You want to use it for muscle building. So do not neglect carbohydrates. Don't say, oh, carbohydrates. People think a lot of times I send these bodybuilders, they think protein is, carbohydrates like poison. Oh, do we not? No, you need it. The brain doesn't use protein. It uses carbs. That's the first requirement of the body. You gotta understand those things. Those little things you have to understand. If you understand the little things in bodybuilding, and you understand the basics, the physiology of the body, boy, you're way ahead of the game. If you don't, if you go around thinking what you eat is immaterial to how you respond, which a lot of people think, a lot of guys do not connect nutrition with their bodies. And then they wonder, scratch their head why they're not responding to the training. So this is just one aspect. We could sit here right now and talk for 2 hours on nutrition. And that wouldn't be enough. So I'm just giving you this basic that you understand that you must feed the muscle for the muscle to respond. If you don't, you're going to be very disappointed. And the one thing about the body, it complains, but it don't explain. If you don't have the strength, if you're not gaining, if you're fresh and you're flabby, your body is telling you what it needs to function the way you want it to, you're not giving it. Now, you're going to have to be astute enough or examine and find out why I'm not responding to my training. And it's always nutrition. Combination of overtraining and nutrition. But most cases, nutrition.